Hey, everybody. Welcome to Sama. I'm Derek Mazzoni. We are in Seattle, Washington, which happens to be occupied Duwamish territory, which is very important to acknowledge that there is a vibrant and thriving Indigenous culture in this part of the Pacific Northwest, this part of the United States. This is very important, tied to the band that I'm having on tonight. They are a local Pacific Northwest Indigenous ensemble named Khu.éex. This is a 21st century cultural experience, and I'm super jazzed to be able to share this music with you and have a conversation with the band, as we do here on Sama, Seattle Sacred Music and Art. This is the first song, Khu.éex. This is called Water Protectors. Enjoy.
Off in the distance, drums vibrating through the wind. Listen, my people, we must defend. Brothers, sisters, fighting for their integrity. We are the warriors of this history. We are the warriors of this history. We are the protectors. We are the protectors.
Welcome everybody out there. Come on now. It's good to have you on board. Woo!
All right, Khu.éex. That was awesome. I'm here with Ed Littlefield. I'm here with Sondra Segundo. I'm here with Preston Singletary. I'm here with Nahaan. Thanks for joining us. This is really great. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate the music. I appreciate the message. And it's a powerful one. And it's so important, especially right now, because the way we've been kind of living in this world is not, dare I say, sustainable. And as I've been doing these programs on Sama, I've been listening to people, and I've been trying to share this platform to let people know that there are other ways that you can live in a world, you can live in a society, you can live as a community, you can live with nature and some type of balance. And this is an ancient form of knowledge that I find it is really intriguing, because we are in the Pacific Northwest. We are so close to nature. If you go in the east part of the United States, it's been ravaged. You know, it's like building on top of building. Here, we're 20 minutes, 30 minutes out from an old growth forest. And the music and the energy here is just so close to nature. And the imagery on stage with you guys and everything is just so beautiful and so tied to that. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing your message. A couple of quick questions, if I may. How did the band come together, Preston?
Oh, I'll feel that one. So, I brought some folks together initially to do a recording project with Bernie Worrell, keyboard player, and I met him during my 50th birthday, and we started a series of recordings that a lot of this music is based on. And so we went into. He expressed interest in working with me. I had the opportunity to open up for his band, the Burning World Orchestra, and we just kind of made a connection. And so we started to record. Over the years, we've worked with different musicians. We first worked with Stanton Moore out of New Orleans, and today we're very happy and blessed and tickled to have Ed Littlefield, doing the drums with us now. Another Tlingit tribal member from Sitka. Actually, we're from the same house group. So, anyways, yeah. So the cast of characters have changed over the years, and Sondra is our most recent addition to the singer. It's been a couple of years now, but we wanted to have a female vocalist to work with, and we lost one of our really dear sisters, Clarissa Rizal, who is the original one of the original collaborators. She passed away from cancer in 2016. So
I'm so sorry.
Wanted to get and then we met Sondra, and it's been wonderful working with her too.
Perfect. And Nahaan came to the band when?
Nahaan was kind of in the middle. He was just shortly after the very inception of this recording project, and so I'd worked with Nahaan a little bit in the previous group, Little Big Band, one that I had been working with or founded. And so I knew I really was taken with Nahaan's ability to do, some rhyming, some freestyle stuff, and his knowledge of the Tlingit language. And so we saw that as a real asset. So we brought him in to help us with that component, and storytelling and dancing, drumming, all the above.
So the band is made up of a variety of performers. There's storytellers, drummers, different instrumentalists. I'm curious how you're able to put all these pieces together.
I see myself as more or less of a curator, in some ways. I mean, all of these people that I'm working with are super, super talented. And so Nahaan brings like a real kind of activist point of view and social commentary. So I'll just let Nahaan speak a little bit about that component of the group, what he brings to the group.
Okay, Nahaan?
Yeah, I think, it's been a part of something I've done, just marching around and organizing Abolish Columbus Day marches, bring community together to feed them, Khu.éex, like giving away, having feasts and stuff like that, not just for Tlingit people who have given me something, but for our Indigenous community at large here in Seattle. I've done that for, off and on for some time. And, going to Standing Rock and going up north to Blue River to support, the relatives up there. Just, trying to support the resistance. For me, that's what it's about. And whatever platform comes around that's needed, that values that voice, is definitely the one that needs to have that voice. So it's just work I've been doing since 2008, and just uphold it and speak it through the music. And luckily, Preston and everybody else is down with how I can get sometimes and put up with it. And yeah, it is what it is. I'm here, and I appreciate the involvement and the opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Sondra, how did you find the band?
They found me. They did a search, and somebody told them about me. I would just sing songs out at gatherings, and I don't know what they asked, but they just asked if the community knew of any singers, and it was so exciting when I got the email.
That's perfect. Awesome. And Ed, how did you come up? How did this enter your life?
Me too. I was begging at the doorstep, knocking on the door. Preston, let me in. No, I was fortunate enough to see Little Big Band in one of the last arrangements of people, and at Nectar, and it was amazing. I just, as I was listening to the music, it was it felt like home, because you know, some of us are transplants, some of us were born here, but like I'm originally from Sitka, and like making that choice to become a professional musician and split my time in Seattle and down south, makes me appreciate what Sitka had. And so like playing in this band and getting asked to be a part of this band is like going home a little bit, and I really liked that part of it. I want to add about building songs, though. You know, people built songs, and there's a, you know, instead of composing songs, and so there was a great thing right before the pandemic began. We had a great works session, and it was amazing because I missed the first 2 days because I was traveling, and I come back in, and you know, every song had a feeling. And it's not necessarily a message quite yet, but it was working towards that. And I think we're all into the feeling of songs and how they relate. So ancient songs always told a story, like they were the purpose of telling stories and sharing knowledge. And I think this group does a really good job at sharing knowledge and sharing different ideas about the world that we live in. So
Perfect.
And I wanted to say something too. We didn't divide our arts into categories. The music went with the storytelling, went with the dance.
Okay.
And whatever music came in, just the instruments would come in.
Perfect. Perfect. It feels like it warms the heart. It lifts the spirit. And that's the focus of this whole program, is like finding music from all over the world. It's really important for this band to be out, to be heard, to be seen, because it feels like the quote unquote, the dominant culture there's a crack. And now maybe this can rise, and maybe this can root and become something that it becomes part of the conversation for everybody in the future. As like my children and my grandchildren will know about this culture, will know about the languages and the history, not just the stuff that is being force fed to them right now. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. So I want to play the next song. This is Raven's First Dance. But tell me a little bit about this, if you can. What does that mean?
This song comes from a story that I was told by one of my best friends, and his name is Ed Coons. He happens to be a hereditary clan leader for the Khu.éex people. He told me this story one time while we were sitting around and just having snacks and hanging out at his place. And he mentioned that, you know, the Raven stories are particularly among Tlingit culture, ones that are often shared throughout the different clans because of their history for all of us. So this is, you hear me acknowledge him in the introduction every time I tell this story. And yep, that's pretty much it. You'll hear the rest.
A shining light. So he made his way all the way up there into that cave, and he looked inside. And he saw there was a fire burning left, and it seemed like it was just for him. So he walked right in, and he opened up his wings over that fire to dry them out. It felt nice. It was warm, it was dry, it was out of the wind. And as he was enjoying himself, he looked off into the cave entrance, saw a figure looming. A great big figure looming. Came walking in. That was Bear. And Bear came walking right in on his cave, saw Raven there, and started chasing Raven around and around. Up they went, down they went. And then there came a moment where Raven stopped and he said, forgive me, my in-law, my opposite.
God, I missed that. I really, really, really missed that. That was beautiful. Khu.éex, Ansama, Sales Circuit Music and Art, Preston, and everybody. Who's in the band? We need to acknowledge people that are not here.
Gene Tagaban is the guy. He's got the red mask on. It's one of the original founders that I collaborated with to get this project going. And then we got Skerrick, Jason Cressy, Skerrick on saxophone. Not everybody knows Skerrick, but a lot of people do. Jason Cressy on the trombone. And then we've got Tim Kennedy on the keyboards. Am I missing anybody?
Rob.
Captain Rob.
Rob. Yeah, my big collaborator on the guitar. He and I write a lot of the riffs and the compositions and kick ideas back and forth. And so he represents the Blackfoot Nation, and he is an amazing musician, amazing composer. And multi-instrumentalist.
Okay.
And Denny.
Yeah, we have
Denny
Denny. Denny Stern is a great percussion player, African Latin American percussion player. Well, I'm sorry, he plays that style. He's an amazing guy.
Okay, we're in the middle of it right now. You guys, you're alive. First part, you're alive. Okay, we succeeded. Second part, we're doing okay. What would you like to see happen once we're through this with Khu.éex? What would be? I mean, I have ideas, but I'm curious to see what would you like to see happen with this project, because it's not a small band. It's not like a trio. Get in a van and drive north. It's I'm super curious. What would you like to do?
I want to go to New Zealand.
Okay.
That's just me.
I do too.
Well,
But do you
rock out over there.
do you want to play in other countries that have like strong indigenous populations and create that kind of, because that's what I was thinking too. It'd be like, this would be amazing in everywhere, like in Brazil, Peru, just like this could be because most, like as I said, when I grew up in Poland, Indians were bonanza shows. There was nothing, and this is so vibrant and alive and needs to be shared, and would love to see that happen. But is that part of the big plan, or was it just, let's keep it local, we're chilling?
Well, right now local works because it is complicated to try to get everybody to commit and compensate everybody for their time.
Yeah.
So I try to keep that a good balance there. I mean, some of our next level, our next chapter is what we're thinking about is more theatrical performances. Maybe teaming up with a theatrical production company. Talking with the guy up in Vancouver who has a lot of experience from every aspect of theater. And Ed's got a lot of theater experience too. I mean, he's actively working on that all the time, even as an actor, or as a music producer, and all of the above. But so we think that doing performing arts centers might actually be a way to reach a different audience, a broader audience. We're not exactly the average club show.
No.
Band,
No.
It's just like we kind of take issue with like the intent and the focus. Not everybody who goes to a club is looking to be enlightened about Native culture. So we're actively looking for other. I mean, I wouldn't say no to that. I mean, I love playing and being sort of a jam band and doing that kind of thing. But it's it's tough getting people in the door, and it's like you'll get paid as many people as you bring in the door, and that's tough. For a 10-piece band, it's hard to keep your enthusiasm up for $150 a night or something.
I get you completely. But tell me, Khu.éex, what is it? What does it translate as?
Yeah, you pronounce it Khu.éex. Khu.éex.
Okay.
And it's a Tlingit word which means invitation to a feast. And typically is used in reference to what is now called, or generally called, a potlatch in Tlingit culture.
If we're doing an invitation to something or a gathering, I would love to see more of the language being used in our. We already use it, but like that is an important aspect for me. Pretty much everything I do has some sort of Tlingit language in there, or artistic thing, and so that's what I would love to see, and that's what I think we're on the right trajectory. I'm a learner as well. I'm just like every day I learn a new word, and I'm still at a baby's level. I'm still at a toddler's level, but I'm still learning. And so I think going forward, Sondra is working on Hadkil too, and it's like share that language and share the culture and make sure we get it out to as many people as possible. That's one of my goals.
Relearning our languages, and that we're the grandchildren of the survivors in the boarding school system, and so we're relearning our language, and it's coming back to us very naturally. But we're realizing how beautiful and colorful and vibrant our languages are, very descriptive, full of verbs, and it's the way we describe our stories or tell stories. It's in our DNA, and it just comes out of us naturally.
Is the intention to share with the other grandchildren of the boarding school system, and like get them reacquainted with their culture and their history?
It's all about passing it on to the next generation. Our elders helped our language to survive, taught us our cultures behind closed doors. We're still here, and we're still strong, and our culture is real strong. We hid away from the mainstream society for a while. Not me particularly. Well, yeah, in high school, I didn't really tell anybody I was Indigenous. I just fit into mainstream society. But, at home, we were singing Hadkil, speaking Hadkil, very proud of our culture and who we are. And our elders worked hard to keep our language alive. A lot of it survived through gospel music, and so now it's my turn, and so I'm going to pass on as much as I possibly can. And
we could talk for hours, but let's go to the next song if we can. This is Killer Whale song. Tell me about this, please.
We wanted it to be full immersion into our languages, Hadkil and Tlingit.
Yatkusani ki nagu aya Eithini nagu ksetsitsu Lachawe Igu aya khoi Ya khat kwani Ya kit kwani tsu Hin kwani Igu aya khoi Yeah, way.
On Sama. That was beautiful. Thank you so much for that. A couple of quick things. You guys, I totally forgot about this. You have a GoFundMe campaign going on right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's actually on Indiegogo.
Okay.
Indiegogo, and it's under Khu.éex, but it's also Wooch is the name of the album, of the new forthcoming album. It's all ready to be released probably in April. A triple LP, the digital download.
Thank you for sharing it, and thank you for continuing. And so Indiegogo, I want to make sure you guys find a way to get funded and to continue, because as Sondra was saying, this in New Zealand would be mind-blowing. And with other musicians coming in, other Indigenous artists coming in and adding to this, and the fact that we're in this space right now where, Sitka, Seattle, wherever, we're communicating in real time, this can happen in a really, really powerful way. I didn't think this when I first started doing Sama. I didn't even think this when I started doing a Wop Up Again XP, but it was like, this is an interesting time for this culture, for this music, I don't even know what to call it, voice, language, identity, all of these things to rise up and take its place amongst all the other things that are going on. It's needed now more than ever.
Yeah, most people, come to our shows, they have this sense of, positivity and energy, and it's uplifting, and it does, it conveys that feeling. And, really, I think I also wanted to mention, bottom line is I also wanted it to be a high level of musicianship, musicality. And by bringing in, Ed and Tim Kennedy, the horn players, they bring this jazz element to it, which is really powerful. In the end, when we're firing on all cylinders, really, coming together in a live performance, it really, it goes the distance, and it's a lot of fun.
Perfect. I look forward to seeing you all live soon. I want to finish with T-Funk. Tell me about this.
This was a song that was off our first album, actually, and this was T-Funk. It's sort of the equivalent of P-Funk. That was our thing on this particular song, and we do kind of pay homage to Bernie Worrell and P-Funk on this album or on this cut. We added sort of the Mothership Connection thing in the end. You'll hear it, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sama.
Thank you for having us.
Gonna cheese.